At 5:02, now to the big story of the morning. More of you are sending your kids back to school today as COVID-19 surges.
Yeah, we know a lot of you have questions about what school will look like with the Delta variant spreading. Spring ISD is one of 9 districts returning today. Brittany Ford is live from Dekaney High. And Brittany, the night before the first day of school, a big announcement was made.
Well, Kim and Steph, good morning to you. A big announcement was made last night, and parents joining us right now may not have even known about this because they made this announcement to implement a mask mandate after the district's board meeting late last night. Now, the district posted this news on its Facebook page. We're told parents were notified also via phone calls. Spring is the latest to join several other districts we've seen taking matters into their own hands, putting a mask mandate in place. And while the kids go back to school this morning, starting Monday, the new mask mandate for all students, staff, and visitors will go into effect regardless if they're vaccinated or not. And the district says it's also exploring the idea of adding a virtual learning option. They'll be sending out a survey to parents asking about their interest in remote learning. Now, the superintendent also said based on the feedback from that survey, they may look at implementing virtual learning. But for now, a lot going on this morning as far as this announcement. I'll send it back to you guys.
Good information there. Brittany Ford live for us this morning. We'll see you in a few minutes. Thank you. All right, some parents from Fort Bend ISD are not happy with COVID-19 safety protocols in place for their kids right now. Dozens of parents showed up at Fort Bend ISD district's office to protest the district's policies, hoping to change the school board's decision. Those parents want mandatory masks or an online learning option for all students.
Kids cannot protect themselves.
The thing about seatbelts that, they don't always work, but they help.
Right now, masks are optional for students and teachers, but we will have more information about the online learning and when that's available. It's only for kids who are too young to be vaccinated. Katy ISD became the latest district in our area to offer virtual learning for students in kindergarten through 6th grade. Parents can apply online starting today, but you must apply by August 17th. The first day for Katy ISD is August 18th, but online learning will be from the 30th through October 15th.
The virus is pushing hospital capacity in our area to the worst crisis level we've seen since the beginning of the pandemic. We want to put it into perspective for you. Texas is divided up into what we are called trauma service areas. Our service area is Q, and it's made up of 9 counties, including Harris. Area Q serves more than 6.6 million people, and as of yesterday, there were only 27 ICU beds available at hospitals across the entire region. That's only 27 beds for more than 6.6 million people. And even if hospitals can add more ICU beds, there may not be enough doctors and nurses to staff them. In fact, St. Luke's Health just announced a temporary closure of its hospital emergency room in Conroe. Texas is divided up into what's called trauma service areas. Our area is Q, and it's made up of 9 counties, including Harris.
I saw people in beds in the hallway with oxygen. I went through the emergency room, and we saw in one place they had 90 people they were trying to get in there and only can hold 20.
Montgomery County commissioners have approved spending $90 million to bring in 60 medical workers to help manage the surge. In Houston, tents are in place outside LBJ Hospital as a future triage.
Meanwhile, with the virus hitting Harris County especially hard, Judge Lena Hidalgo is taking action. She announced that the county attorney will file a lawsuit challenging Governor Abbott's executive order banning local governments from enforcing mask mandates.
All right, Steph, and there's just a ton going on, so let's get to your morning's coronavirus headlines. Counting down from number 3. According to Johns Hopkins University, 11 states have passed 1 million COVID cases, including here in Texas. The U.S. has surpassed 36 million known cases, meaning nearly 11% of the country has had a positive test. Moving on now to number 2. Hospitals here in Texas currently have more than 10,000 COVID-19 patients, according to the most recent state tally available. That's the most since February at the height of the pandemic, bringing us to number 1. President Biden is urging people in hurricane-prone states to get the vaccine as part of hurricane preparedness. There are concerns that the virus could spread in shelters or even during evacuations. If you're still looking for a vaccine, we're making it easy for you. Just text the word vaccine to 713-526-1111 and we'll text you back some helpful information.
Turning now to the state capitol, where many are wondering if the Lone Star Showdown will end today. Texas House Democrats managed to prevent quorum for another day, but Republicans are fighting back.
Under warrant of arrest if necessary.
They issued arrest warrants again to try to force Democrats back to Austin. That's after the Texas Supreme Court overturned a lower court's temporary restraining order against those warrants. But the missing Democrats say they have no plans to return to Austin. El Paso Representative Art Fierro says House Democrats are all still working as a team.
You know, we were all on the same page. We all want the same outcomes. And so absolutely, they're still working strong on what is great for their constituents. We had a little bit of a different focus.
At last check, there were only 95 House members at the state capitol, which is 5 short of quorum. The House meets again today at 10 a.m. And while we wait to see what happens with Texas lawmakers, there has been some bipartisan progress in Washington.
A key agenda item for President Biden is moving forward. A major bipartisan victory for the Biden White House.
This bill, we prove that we can still come together to do big things.
The U.S. Senate passed a $1 trillion infrastructure package, sending it to the House where it's expected to be approved. The measure includes $550 billion in new spending for roads, bridges, broadband, and clean drinking water.